I'm about to blow your mind. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about a movie. A Quiet Place, Day 1. So, A Quiet Place Day 1 is a prequel-ish spin-off of sorts to the Quiet Place movies, which I still think are the best PG-13 horror thriller movies out there. This prequel is intended to show how the world initially reacted to that alien invasion. Lupita Nyong'o plays Sam. She has a cat named Frodo, and this movie follows her among this alien invasion. Trying to survive, she comes across Eric, played by Joseph Quinn of Stranger Things fame and future Human Torch. So it's these 2.5 characters, Sam, Eric, and Frodo the cat, trying to survive an apocalypse. Now, I was looking forward to this movie because I'm actually kind of in the rare minority who liked the second Quiet Place movie more than the first one, but I was like, alright, these movies seem to be climbing, like they're getting better, and this movie's getting great reviews, some people even calling it the best of the franchise so far, so I was like, yeah, let's do this. And I thought this movie was fine. I don't know, maybe it was too overhyped by the time I saw it. And disclaimer, there are actually some things that I didn't understand about the film until I talked about it with some other people. One of them being Lupita Nyong'o's character, Sam. The setup for her character, I kind of found hard to relate to. I mean, the first couple of scenes she's in, I was like, you're kind of a douche. She just came off as unlikable to me. But then I talked with a couple of people about it, and they were both like, dude, she's in a situation that, God willing, you never find yourself in. She can't really be blamed for being pissed off at the world. She's just been dealt a shitty hand in life. I'm not gonna give away what it is, because the trailers don't really tell you. But yeah, both these people I talked to were like, wouldn't you be pissed off at the world if you were dealt that hand? And I was like, yeah, I would be. So alright, I get it. That being said, she was still a little hard for me to relate to, because I've never been in that situation, and God willing, I never will be. And then there is the cat. Yeah, the cat is actually a character in this movie, believe it or not. But we're told that this cat is a service animal.
You can't have a cat in here. It's a service cat.
Which actually, here's a fact, cats are not allowed to be service animals, at least not here in the US, which is where this movie takes place. It's in New York City, so that's out the window, no. And the cat is like sentient, to the point of unbelievability. The cat comes across Joseph Quinn and actually leads him to Lupita Nyong'o. I was like, bullshit. I just don't think so. I don't think a cat would do that. Although I did think Joseph Quinn was good in the movie. I mean, Lupita Nyong'o was good in the movie. All the acting in this movie was good. I just found the characters either hard to buy or hard to relate to. That's just me though. And honestly speaking, I was bored by some of this movie. Because at this point, this is the third Quiet Place movie. So it is the same kind of thing. These people are scared of these aliens who react to sound. So we're hiding in these quiet places trying to avoid the aliens that react to sound. And trying not to make any sound because we don't want the aliens who react to sound to come and hunt us and kill us. I've seen these situations in 2 other movies already. Then again, you know, art imitates art. You could argue that the premise of The Quiet Place, the first movie, is kind of an extension of the kitchen scene from Jurassic Park, where the kids are trying to be quiet and hide from the velociraptors who are hunting them. So alright, fine. Really, like, all my arguments against this movie are being dissipated here. Maybe I should give this movie more credit. But I mean, for a good chunk of the movie, Lupita Nyong'o's character Sam, like, her main goal, the thing she wants to do while avoiding the aliens, I was like, really? You want to do this? I mean, just evacuate the city. There are things more important than this goal you want to do, like your life. But again, there is a point to that, having to do with the shitty hand that life has dealt her. I guess I do kind of get it. Really, I'll have to watch this movie again, having had these conversations with these people, because this was my first impression of the movie. Walking out of it, I was like, I'm not a huge fan. But now, having had these talks and learning some things, I'm like, alright, I should give this movie another watch. I'll probably like it more. One thing I absolutely can knock this movie for, though, is the jump scares. This movie has a lot of jump scares, more noticeably than the previous 2 movies, at least I think. There was one that really got me. My friend who was watching this right next to me, she couldn't stop laughing at me for like 3 minutes or something, because my fight or flight kicked in. My friend said I looked like I was about to throw hands with the screen. That really got me. I was like, fuck you. That was funny. There actually is some humor in this film that did work for me. Some laughs, especially in the first half of the movie. That did land. I'll tell you what this movie is. This movie is Cloverfield meets Alien. It's kind of the premise of Cloverfield, you know, alien invasion in New York City, but with the pacing of Alien. It's kind of that slow, drawn out kind of suspense movie, which I will say the suspense scenes are really well done. Here, now I'll talk this movie up, because there is definitely some merit in this film. More than the suspense, when the scenes were exciting, they were really exciting. The aliens are awesome in this movie, dude. It really just goes to show that with the money that these Quiet Place movies have been making, the budget just gets bigger. The aliens look cooler than they ever have, but where I gotta give my highest props is the sound design. I saw this movie in IMAX, and the sound was jacked the fuck up noticeably higher than other movies I have seen in IMAX. Like, yeah, for a movie called A Quiet Place, this is probably one of the loudest movies I've seen this year so far. And that is a good thing, my fellow moviegoers. My seat was rumbling for most of the movie. It was awesome. So yeah, when the movie kicks into high gear, those were the best scenes in my opinion, because I was really getting into it. There were a couple of shots where it goes over the city and we see the aliens climbing over buildings. I was like, cool, look at that. That was really cool. So this movie is really well made. I can't say anything bad about the production at all. Audio-wise and visually, it was aces. And the score was awesome too. In fact, this is probably my favorite Quiet Place score yet. It's a different composer. It's not Marco Beltrami this time around, and it doesn't bring back those dissonant chords that the first two movie scores boasted. But what it has instead is some really like melancholy sounding music that I really liked. I really dug it, and I really want to give credit where credit is due. So in the end, A Quiet Place Day 1, it is a good movie for sure. I guess I'm not as crazy about it as everyone else is, but just because I didn't understand some things personally doesn't mean you won't. It's well written, it's well acted, it looks great, the sound design is the best thing in the movie, and the score is awesome. But this movie didn't really show me anything I haven't seen before. It is kind of predictable. Like, I'll say if you don't like the Quiet Place movies, this is not gonna bring you over to the side. I should see this movie a second time so I can really form a solid opinion of it. But for now, after thinking about it, for A Quiet Place Day 1, I will say, go see this movie while it's in theaters. I will say, I know that some people say that this is the best Quiet Place movie so far, but for me, it's probably gonna end up being my least favorite so far. I still haven't seen either of the other two movies since theaters. Cause like I said, when part 3 comes out on home video release, I wanna watch the trilogy back to back and have it be like a new experience for me. I really can't wait for that night. I hope part 3 sticks the landing. So, A Quiet Place Day 1. Have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And what do you think of it compared to the previous two films? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!